Hey everybody, this is going to be a quick tutorial to walk you through how to synth enable a game with our plugin using the Omara device. So the goal is going to be simple. You already have a game loop. We're not asking you to rewrite it. We're just adding on a few synth events at moments you probably already have in your game. So those moments might be something like taking damage, an environment or location change, or an action that you might want to trigger synth when it happens. So today we're going to be going through the Unity version of this, and you might have already seen the Unreal Engine version. For the most part, they're the same, but they're two different engines, so there's a slightly different approach. So the first difference is how you install the plugin. Unity under Assets can have a plugins folder, and that's where you can extract and drop in the OVR Unity plugin. And that will basically give you access to all the code to communicate to the device over BLE, send order and commands, and actually synth enable your project. So once you have that properly installed, it does come with assembly definition asset. And so for your project, you might actually have in your scripts assembly definitions. So just be sure, as you're probably already familiar, that you add a reference to our OVR.Unity plugin so you can actually do some of the code stuff with our plugin. So this is a neat little sample project. It's an FPS sample project by Unity, and it's a perfect little tutorial project to demonstrate how to synth enable your game. So one of the first things you should do is find a place to put our connection manager. I'm going to pick their game manager that they already have here. Click Add Component, type Connection Manager, and just like that, we have it in. If we go into Window here and we go find the OVR Quick Connect, we can dock the Quick Connect over here. And you won't be able to use it until you're actually playing in the editor. So demonstrate that. We'll hit play. And then we can hit BLE scan here. And then we can hit connect. You can always go to the console log to see how things are going in that regard. And you'll know that the connection has been successful because your Omara device will go from green to blue. So now that we know we are facilitating a connection with the device and we've in the exact device that we want to connect with, the next sort of crucial phase and set of steps is to actually synth enable your project. So there's a few different places we could synth enable, and as I said in the beginning, I'm going to demonstrate three key areas that you might want to synth enable your game. And the first and simplest one is to just synth enable the environment. So here we have a room, and if we hit play, we can see where we start. So we start in this room, and then we hit into this bigger area where we fight this little bot. So we'll synth enable the area in which we go to actually have combat with the bot. So to do that, let's go find where this room is in the hierarchy. There in room 2 there. So in room 2, we'll create a new game object. We'll go ahead and make it a sphere, but you can make it invisible if you want. This will just help us visualize it. We'll drag it in the center of the room. Again, doesn't have to be something you can see, but this just helps for demonstration purposes. We'll go back to the Inspector tab, add component, and we'll add an odorant sphere. Now we have a couple different options you can choose from that just change the shape, but we'll pick a sphere. This will allow us to change the inner radius and outer radius of the sphere. Anything inside the inner radius is a max intensity of 1, and anything between the inner and the outer just gets attenuated or scaled. So towards the center of that sphere will be the most strongest pungent area. Just like that. And we need to add an odor asset to it, which the plugin already comes with 16. You might also notice that there's numbered versions of it, and that's just generic placeholders, but you can also get the more meaningful named odor assets. So we'll go ahead and pick for this sort of battle scene a smoky odor here. Now that we have put an odorant sphere on our sphere, that's half the story. We have an odor source in the environment, but we need a nose to be able to smell it. We'll find where they've nicely labeled player area, and we'll look at the main camera. And since the main camera has an audio listener component, this is a good place to put our nose, which we call the olfactory epithelium. So we hit add component and we add the olfactory epithelium. Now that our player has a nose and we've put an odorant source into the game world, we can hit play. We can go to OVR Quick Connect, hit BLE scan, in which it'll find a device, we hit connect to it, and now the device has gone blue. So we can navigate to our area, and you'll see it flickering, indicating that it's emitting odor. So yeah, the closer you get, the stronger the intensity, and I get that smoky battlefield odor for my game. Let's shift gears into maybe something that is more event-based, like actually taking damage or healing or just some sort of player interaction. So I'm going to bring up the code for this project, and they have a health pickup script. They also have a health script. So let's say that you have an item that when you pick up, you want to emit an odor. You'll need to import using ovr.data and using ovr.components. And you'll call the line olfactory epithelium.get play odor, providing the odor asset you want to play and the intensity value between 0 and 1 that you would like it to emit the odor at. In order to define the odor, you can do public odor asset odor in that way. But I think for this project, there's actually a better place to have the odor calls, and that would be in the health script of the player. So the health script has a function for actually healing and actually taking damage. And at the top here, I've done the same imports, but I've also created a heal odor and a damage odor. So in the actual heal function, when the healing is actually set to take place, we call the same play odor function off the nose. And we play the heal odor at an intensity value of 1.0. And we do the same thing for take damage. When damage actually occurs, we play the damage odor at 1.0. Now what I haven't yet done is I haven't yet set those public odor asset variables. So if I go to the player and find the health component, which is right here, the health script, we're going to actually assign what we want heal to smell like and damage to smell like. So for healing, we could pick something like sweet. And for the damage odor, we can pick something like Machina. Now with those assigned, we can start the play. Go to our OVR Quick Connect as before, do a quick scan, connect, device goes blue. Now we can go back to our game and see the device in action while I get to smell the experience. So I'm going to move away from our odor source that we put in that environment just to let the other odor shine. And now when we take damage, I'm getting that Machina smell. Now what about healing? Let's give that a try. I know that in this game that when the robot dies, we'll get a heal. So to demonstrate the heal more clearly, I'm going to move this ambient odor source out of the way for now. Run it back. Do a BLE scan, connect as before, and we'll take some damage this time. But I'll successfully defeat the bot. And now when I pick up the health and heal, you can see that flicker giving us that sweet smell. And that's basically it to scent enable your Unity project. We have 16 different synths, and you are not obligated to use them necessarily in a realistic or one-to-one fashion. You can let your creativity unfold. This is a totally new opportunity, and we're really excited to see what you all can do with it. So thank you.